Let me take you back to the year 2000, when a single lightning had almost rewrote the story of a mobile tech industry. In 2000, a lightning struck a semiconductor plant in New Mexico. Although the fire was controlled, the damage was done. That plant belonged to the Philips. They supplied both Nokia and Ericsson with chips for mobile phone. Nokia's team immediately geared into action. They engaged their engineers and negotiated with Philips. They found a new supplier fast. Ericsson, however, waited. They had assumed that they would recover fast, but they didn't. The delay in Ericsson's supply chain had cost them billions. They missed product launches, and by 2002, their mobile division was sold off. This is not just a story about a disaster disruption, but a supply chain test. It is about what happens to a company when they prepare or fail to prepare for disruptions. Today, we are facing our own test. TCI is a global tech company that is respected for its innovation and sleek devices, but it finds itself in a storm. Customer kept demanding, demand kept growing, yet behind the scene, the company bleeds. Why? For every time a part was delayed from a supplier in Asia, that is China, South Korea, or Taiwan, or logistics costs spiked unexpectedly for their assembly plants in Vietnam or Malaysia, they still delivered to their customers at their own cost. They were keeping promises, but at a painful price. And these were part of the challenges they had to struggle with, regardless of their strong revenue and great products, having a negative impact on their profitability, which made it remain unpredictable. Our team at Lagos State University has built practical and tech-driven plans in order to improve resilience, logistics costs, and also help TCI align with sustainable growth for it to regain back its edge. Each of us will walk you through it step by step.
Why does TCI company generate more revenue yet still have reduced profits? Let's look at pricing pressure. Yeah, the company is forced to retain same price of products despite increase in procurement costs and production costs. Because they don't want to lose customer or change prices, they tend to satisfy more customers yet jeopardizing their profits. It is possible to be selling goods and have increase in turnout of customers, yet a business owner might not be making progress in profits. Let's also look at over-reliance on a single supplier. What can this cause? Once a supplier sees that they are the only supplier to a manufacturing plant, it gives them the right to increase or inflate raw material prices, and this gives a company like TCI no other choice than to make do with it, and thereby it will jeopardize their profits in the sense that they want to satisfy their customers, thereby they won't be making any profits. Currency exchange losses can also be a factor. Because TCI procures across different countries like Taiwan and China, exchange rate volatility can eat deep into profits, especially if materials are paid for in stronger currency. In addition, high fixed overhead, overly investing in technology, overly investing in the manufacturing plant can also incur fixed costs in the company. Lastly, marketing and branding costs can cause increase in revenue and decrease in profit. Take for instance, spending heavily in advertisement and launch events can drive more sales from customers, yet profits remain stagnant if cost is not well balanced. I'll leave it to my other colleague to move on to the next challenge.
Diversify suppliers across regions, that is, outsourcing from countries that are closer and are in the same region. This is one of the ways to improve TCI's resilience and reduce disruptions. This will improve lead time flexibility, that is, suppliers closer to end markets can offer faster and more consistent deliveries. This will increase the on-time in full from 85% to 95%, and the dual sourcing coverage increases from 30% to 75% for the critical components. This reduces lead time from 10 days to 5 days, and increases customer satisfaction. Building strategic safety stock, which is also part of just in case, is one of the most direct and effective ways to improve supply chain resilience and minimize disruption. It acts as buffers against delays, that is, it maintains continuity even during port congestions, strikes, or geopolitical issues. This would increase the order fill rate from about 88% to 95 to 98% if a stock keep unit of 2 weeks is practiced. This also reduces the logistics cost from about 8% to 2 to 3%, and to increase customer satisfaction from about 75% to 85 to 90%. I'll be handing over to my colleague to provide solutions for the next problem.
Talking about strategies to reduce procurement and production costs. First, they can implement a supplier relationship and partnership. They can go on developing long-term and strategic partnership with their key suppliers like China, Taiwan, and others, and ensuring collaborative and forecast visibility. We can also look at the optimal use of Incoterms. We have different principles in Incoterms. The TCI company can implement free on board or free carrier. It is important to note that the use of Incoterm like DDP, which is delivery duty paid, might not be favorable sometimes because it gives suppliers the opportunity to inflate shipping prices. There should be improved payment terms, that is delaying cash outflow. It is not so necessarily important to pay your suppliers cash immediately after the raw material is procured. That way it will free up capital and also reduce costs in the production and also procurement process. Talking about production strategies to implement lean manufacturing practices, that is making use of lean and Six Sigma method to eliminate waste and unwanted processes. Furthermore, labor optimization is key. That is, training workers in the production process of plants can help reduce human error, and also multi-skilled teams is essential for flexible task management. Lastly, predictive maintenance is key. That is, regularly monitoring machineries and performance preventive maintenance is essential in order to reduce costs of downtime and emergency repair in the production process.
TCI can improve its demand forecasting to align production with market demand by adopting AI and machine language-based forecasting tools to analyze past demand, real-time sales, macro trends, and seasonality to improve forecast accuracy over time. With this, each 1% increase in forecast accuracy can reduce inventory costs by up to 3%, which in 6 months can bring up the forecast accuracy from a baseline of 65% to about 85 to 90%. They can also collaborate through sales and operations. A cross-functional S&OP ensures alignment across production, marketing, and sales. TCI can also practice using scenario planning by creating multiple demand scenarios like baseline, high growth, and recession to stay agile. This allows TCI increase order fulfillment rate by about 10%. Thank you.
Technologies TCI can use to enhance their supply chain visibility and resilience. Supply Chain Control Tower is a digital dashboard across the supply that uses real-time data from across the supply chain, from the logistics to the procurement to the inventory, and so many more. With the help of tools like SAP Integrated Business Plan and Oracle SCM Cloud. This will help TCI monitor suppliers in Taiwan, Korea, and China in real time. For example, in Taiwan, due to their geopolitical issues. 2. AI and machine learning for demand forecasting. It's a tool that predicts, analyzes market demand, customers' behavior, the seasonality. It works with tools like Amazon Forecast and IBM. It can help TCI align production in Vietnam and Malaysia with actual market demands, and also reduce waste and overproduction, avoiding excess logistic costs, which further helps TCI stop over delivery at its own cost. 3. Internet of Things enable access tracking. These are like sensors placed on cargoes and containers. For example, the Roambees, and it helps TCI to track component shipments from China, Korea in real time. In addition, it allows better coordination with assembly lines in Asia. Now, technologies to improve sustainability and transparency. First one is the blockchain-based supply chain management. What is the blockchain-based supply chain management? It is a secured, tamper-proof ledger. This can help TCI prove ethical sourcing. For example, the battery material not from conflict zone. Moreover, this technology enhances trust with regulators and eco-conscious customers. Two is the sustainability analytic platform track. Sustainability analytic platform. It tracks carbon emission, the energy use, and waste across the supply chain. This can enable TCI to partner only with eco-compliant suppliers and lower long-term regulatory costs. Furthermore, it helps balance cost efficiency with the ESG goals, that is, the environmental sustainability goals. Apple recovered over 40,000 metric tons of e-waste in 2022 through its recycling program, showing that sustainability and profitability can go hand in hand. The recommended strategies to balance sustainability and cost efficiency. The first one I recommend is a sustainable sourcing with dual benefits. Use recycled or responsibly sourced materials. For instance, you can recycle your aluminium conflict-free materials and also partner with suppliers who are the ESG compliant and offer bulk pricing for green certified components. TCI can reduce material cost long terms and build brand value through ethical sourcing. Another way I recommend is to use technology to track sustainability metrics and implement blockchain or digital ledgers to trace material sources and carbon footprints. And use softwares like SAP, IBM, or EcoVadis to monitor the ESG compliance and costs. Also, this helps to improve transparency and prevent greenwashing and enables data-driven cost cuts. CCI can launch a product take-back or recycling program for phones, tablets to recover parts and reduce raw material needs, and also offer republish model or trading programs, thereby reducing material costs and supporting environmental branding, energy efficiency manufacturing. CCI can retrofit plants in Vietnam and Malaysia with energy-saving equipment such as LED, solar panels, optimize HVAC, and use smarter metrics and analytics to reduce electricity and the usage of water. They should cut utility bills and align it with carbon reduction goals. Now I'll be handing over to my colleague Grace to summarize everything we've said so far.
To quickly recap, TCI isn't failing because of its weak brand or bad product. It's faltering because its supply chain hasn't kept pace with its growth. But this isn't the end of the story. It is a turning point. We've shown today how TCI can shift from firefighting to future-proofing by improving suppliers' relationship, adopting Incoterm principles like free on board or free carrier, labor optimizations through training, multi-sourcing, and sustainable practices, like the adoption of solar panels for the assembly plant in Vietnam and Malaysia. Moreover, TCI adopts just in time, but can adopt just in case by having strategic safety stocks in order to increase their order fill rates and customer satisfaction. Just like Nokia in the story we began with, TCI can come out ahead by adopting these practices. And the key is acting fast, planning smart, and committing to change. Thank you.